You're FOMOing. You've seen the bounce today. You just want to get in. Well, I'm going to give you exact entries. No one's going to do this, but I am. So, first thing I want to let you know is the gap with ASTS specifically has filled 14 out of the 17 last gaps that we had. That is around an 80% chance. If you set these entries, as I tell you throughout this video, there is an 80% chance you're going to get filled on the pullback. And not only that, but we have very, very crazy risk to reward on this trade. We are looking at an 8 to 1. 8 to 1. You are potentially going to get paid out 8 to 1 from the amount of risk you're risking and how much you will be getting paid out. So let's have a look at the graph and let me give you the exact levels. Let's not take so much time. I've noticed a lot of my videos are very, very long and people are not really retaining that. So let's try to cut straight to the chase. Coming here, looking at this graph right here specifically, well, I mean, I guess if you look right here, this is the last time we actually came back to fill that very specific gap. Now, if we go down here, we fill this one as well. And then we go forward, we go ahead and we had a gap here and then we filled it, and moving forward we had a gap here, we filled it. Every single gap eventually gets filled with an 80% success rate. So you're like, okay, so what about now? I don't care about the past, I care about now. Where should I get in? Well, it's right in front of you. It is right in front of you. This is the exact gap that you want to enter in with a ladder. How would you enter in? What I would personally do is I would have my entries starting at 73 and going down to 72, 71.5, and 69.5. Now, if you want to be a little bit more technical, 69.87. If you want to capture the bottom of that wick on the left side over here, then you go for the 67.7. Now, where would you set your stop loss for a trade like this for you to actually have that 8 to 1 risk to reward? Well, it is quite simple. Let's go ahead and look. So you have two choices with this exact trade. You can either start to scale in at 76 or you start scaling in at around 73. But regardless of what you choose, you would want to have your stop loss at around 63, under 63 by a slight smidge, and your take profit. So get ready to hear this, boys. We are going to go for this exact gap right here. This is the gap that we are going to go and fill for. We are riding all the way up until I would potentially start taking profits at this 115, and then I would ladder up every single dollar, take a little bit of more profits. I would not be so greedy. I would also size this trade conservatively just because, speculation is always speculation. Wall Street boys are Wall Street boys. But this is exactly what I would do for this specific trade. I'd start getting in around 74, 73, 72, 70, 71. Right here, this exact gap is what we're going to go ahead and bounce back. By the way, just so you know, it takes around the median amount of days. If you don't know what median is, it's the middle point. We'd be looking at around 3 days. So that means you could see it rip to the upside, maybe catch that resistance at 97 before it does go back down. You can't be a scrub. You can't FOMO in right now at 86. You'd be ridiculous. If you FOMO in when you see it rallying and you get in at 97, you're an idiot. Sorry, excuse my language. So what I would want to do is I'd want to wait here at this exact range, as I told you, and it might take up to 14 days. That is the average. The median and the average are two different things. The average is it can take up to 14 days. Now, if it doesn't fill and it fills this gap before then you lost the trade. Well, not lost it, but this trade just you never got to get the entry, which only happens 20% of the time. It is also a possibility that it ends up filling this one before it goes back to fill this one. But regardless, I would not enter at this price. I would only enter between this exact gap because I know once we fill this gap right here, we will be headed right back for that 115 with the 8 to 1 risk to reward ratio. It is absolutely astounding. Enter in with a ladder, get out with a ladder starting here, 114, 116, all the way till the bottom of that wick at 121. That is it. That is my ASTS analysis. It is very, very basic. I mean, anyone could do this, but a lot of people sometimes are uncertain, or maybe you're new to trading and you want to know what is a good entry for the stock. Well, here you go. I hope you guys did enjoy. See you boys on the charts.